Breaking on 4 News Now at 6. Fire crews rescue an Uber driver who crashed her car into a steep ravine. We're live with why she was trapped for almost 12 hours.
Get ready to turn up those thermostats. It's going to be a frosty night. I'll show you how cold it's going to get where you live in the first alert forecast.
And 2 Eastern Washington University students say they were drugged while at a party over the weekend. What police recommend students do to prevent their drinks from getting spiked. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
And we begin with that breaking news now. A woman recovering in the hospital tonight after crashing her car and being stuck in a ravine overnight for about 12 hours. Thanks for being with us. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Derek Dias. She crashed in the area of 44th and Sullivan in South Spokane County. Madeline Mullins is live right where she was found. And Madeline, why couldn't the woman get out of her car after the crash?
Is the road that she was driving down when she crashed and fell off of the road. Right around this corner, about 75 yards is where she fell into the ditch about 15 feet. And because of the way the car landed, she was stuck between the dashboard and her seat.
Found out that the patient was unable to extricate herself, so we went ahead and opened some doors and used some ropes and a Stokes basket to extricate the patient.
Sister's an Uber driver. She didn't come home at her normal time, so we were worried about her, and so we found her through an app called Life 360. We came up here and looked for her and found her down there.
The woman has now been taken to the hospital with minor injuries. As you can see, this is a pretty wooded area. There's only one light up here, and this road, Sullivan Road, comes to a dead end. So the only way to get out would be turning around or going back down this road. So that may have led to why this woman was up here, but they're still trying to figure out why exactly she ended up here and ended up in the ditch. But her sister says that the most important thing is that they found her and that she's safe. Live in Spokane Valley, I'm Madeline Mullins, 4 News Now.
Well, in Cheney, police are investigating a report of 2 students' drinks being spiked with a date rape drug at a party over the weekend.
The students say it happened at an off-campus party near Eastern Washington University. A medical test confirmed one of the victims had the drug in their system. The other is still waiting on results. Our Jordan Smith is live in Cheney now with what police are saying.
Yeah, well, police tell me they take these investigations incredibly seriously. I mean, these date rape drugs like roofies, for example, can have dramatic effects on your system, leading to things like slurred speech, that woozy feeling, and dipping in and out of consciousness. So police are trying to spread awareness on how you can stay safe if you go out.
It hits close to home for me when things happen, and I want to make sure that our kids are safe.
Chief Jewel Day with Eastern Washington University's police department is actively working to spread awareness to an issue prevalent on most college campuses.
These things happen. You know, unfortunately, they happen more often than not on college campuses. You know, if you didn't pop it, don't drink it kind of a deal. You know, don't drink out of punch bowls and different things like that.
Day says prevention and awareness are your best bet in these situations.
If you have to set your drink down and walk away, then get a new drink. Don't drink that drink because, you know, once you take eyes up on it, you can't confirm that nothing's happened to it.
And watch your drink being poured. Make sure you know exactly where it's coming from and never take your hands or eyes off of it. Keep a friend nearby at the bar or party that you head to. And if you start to show symptoms, find that trusted friend and tell them what's happening. Day encourages everyone to go to the hospital to be treated, which can also help in their investigation.
Doesn't necessarily mean that we're always going to be able to identify a perpetrator.
Yeah, and part of what makes these investigations so difficult is proving exactly who placed that drug in someone's drink and, of course, what their intent was. And I know a lot of that might sound obvious on prevention tips, but it just takes putting your drink down for just 1 second for something to potentially happen. So, Day says that students can download the Eagle Safe app on their phone, and that can give them access to 911, campus security, and they could have someone virtually walk with them to get to a safe part of campus. Reporting live in Cheney tonight, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
Jordan, thank you. Free testing for sexually transmitted infections is available in Washington and North Idaho. All 11 Planned Parenthood health centers in the region are offering STI testing through the end of the year. Planned Parenthood emphasized the importance of testing as cases of syphilis have been rising in the last few years. You can schedule an appointment right now. Look for the link right now on KXLY.com. Well, you might not need your ice scraper before you drive to work, but you might. I don't even know where it is right now.
You better find it. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker now to see if the cold temps will be sticking around.
If you park outside, you might need your ice scraper for the first time tomorrow morning because there is a frost advisory for the area shaded in blue on your screen. It will likely be the coldest night of the season so far in Spokane and many of the outlying areas. And I know several of you, many of you, are still trying to get the very last of the growing season out of your gardens, so I would cover up those tomatoes and other tender plants. Thursday morning lows will be in the 30s around most of the region. A few 20s too, 26 in Colville, 32 in Sandpoint, 34 degrees in Moscow and Pullman. Right around the Spokane area, temperatures below freezing in 9 Mile and Meade, 28 degrees in Deer Park, 32 at Fairchild Air Force Base, as well as Spangle and Spirit Lake. But boy, those plants really don't like any temperatures 36 and below, particularly tomatoes and peppers. Your day planner for Thursday, a high temperature of 66 degrees. Lots of clear skies. Till we get into the afternoon, we'll be partly sunny. System coming in for Friday. I'll let you know what to expect in just a few minutes, Derek.
Well, a 67-year-old woman in Ephrata is now recovering after being attacked by a pack of dogs. According to the Grant County Sheriff's Office, a neighbor heard the woman screaming for help on Road H Northwest yesterday morning. The neighbor drove the woman home. She was then taken to the hospital with severe injuries. Investigators say the dog's owner surrendered them to animal control. They are expected to be euthanized following a 10-day hold. Well, March Madness is returning to Spokane in 2027. Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena will once again host the first 2 rounds of the men's tournament. The host school will once again be the University of Idaho. But it's not just basketball. The Lilac City will also host the Division III Indoor Track and Field Championships at the Podium in 2027. And Spokane Valley is also getting in on the action as it will host the Division I Men's and Women's Cross Country Regional at the future Spokane Valley Cross Course. Well, this upcoming election, the Deer Park School District is asking the community to consider approving a 27-year, $55.1 million bond.
And the main reason the district says it needs this bond is because of overcrowding at its elementary school that serves grades 3 through 5. The bond will cost voters an estimated $126 per $100,000 of assessed property value, meaning if you own a home valued at $400,000, you'd be paying about $504 a year in taxes for this bond. Marissa Rio takes us to that elementary school the district says is overcrowded.
A crowded gym, cafeteria. It isn't every day that you see students eating lunch with basketball hoops hovering above them. But due to the limited space at Arcadia Elementary School, half of the gym is used as a cafeteria.
And so we have to squeeze all the kids into half of the gym, but then we have to double up on PE classes on the other side of the gym with the retractable wall. And that poses congestion, safety concerns, overcrowding in the gym.
The district says there are currently about 450 students that attend Arcadia Elementary, a school that was only built for about 350 students. Overcrowding means some of the classrooms are out in portables.
And our youngest and smallest kids have to travel back and forth to get to the office, to get to the gym, to get to the library. Any of their basic needs have to be accomplished in the main building. So the kids are walking outside. We believe the safest place for students to learn is under one roof. In one building.
If the bond passes, majority of the money would pay to build a new elementary school that can accommodate the district's growth.
The bond would also be used to pay for a new transportation facility for the district. The current one, which I'm at right now, I don't know if you can tell, is all on dirt road. This causes a lot of wear and tear on these buses, especially in the winter.
Bus drivers are also working in a nearly 100-year-old building with limited space. The infrastructure is so old, it's hard to ventilate or heat. In the February election, the community did pass the district's levy. If the bond were to pass, the community would be paying a combined total of $276 per $100,000 of assessed property value. In Deer Park, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Well, even from hundreds of miles away, you may soon start feeling the impact of the port workers' strike soon.
What it could mean for your wallet coming up. And absentee ballots are already being accepted in Kootenai County. Coming up, we break down everything you need to know to make sure your voice counts next on 4 News Now at 6.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+. The 4 News Now First Alert Weather app. Download or update it today.
Are you ready to stay for less and play for more? The Kootenai Casino has low room rates and our most exciting gaming yet. Book now to get your deluxe room at the Kootenai Falls Lodge for just $99 every midweek night in October. And join us for October Hot Spins, Weekend Super Spins, and catch the game Monday nights. Win big in October. Book your getaway at the Kootenai Casino today. Call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
HCM is a serious heart condition affecting as many as 1 in 200 people. Like me.
And me. I was still short of breath on my beta blocker.
So I talked to my cardiologist.
And asked about treatment advances in HCM.
That talk made a real difference.
It gave me new hope.
Talk to your cardiologist today. Visit hcmrealtalk.com to learn more.
When a loved one gets sick, it's usually women who have to leave their jobs to care for them.
Now, I-2124 would take long-term care benefits away from millions of families,
forcing them onto private insurance
that charges women 70% more than men,
and denies coverage for people with pre-existing conditions.
So vote no.
Because our loved ones can't afford to lose their long-term care benefits.
And neither can we.
In Spokane, access to quality health care is a growing need for many families. The Native Project provides sacred hospitality to the Spokane community, ensuring every patient feels cherished and respected.
The Native Project provides medical, dental, behavioral health, pharmacy, and wellness services for everyone. We serve Native and non-Native patients, focusing on balance of mind, body, and spirit.
Numerica Credit Union is honored to donate $1,000 to the Native Project. This is how Numerica cares for kids.
Next ET, our Kathy Lee Gifford exclusive. Her reaction to Hoda Kotb's Today Show exit.
Part of it is just gut instinct.
Plus, we're with new Idol judge Carrie Underwood.
Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in. I'm in too.
I am in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be here.
All right, in For the People coverage now. Early voting in Kootenai County is just around 2 weeks away, and the deadline to register to vote is coming up.
Our Alexandra Cohen-Yards visited the Kootenai County Elections Office and has the steps you should take now ahead of Election Day.
Kirsten, Derek, as of today, 110,644 people have registered to vote in Kootenai County. Around 16% of those have requested an absentee ballot. The Kootenai County Elections Office told me that they expect a notably high voter turnout for this year's general election. This could lead to longer lines on Election Day. However, there are several steps you can take in advance to make sure that your voting process is easier.
But we're going to have high turnout, and I know we're going to have high turnout in Kootenai County on Election Day, probably the highest in the state. So be prepared for that too.
All of the poll workers you see in Kootenai County are trained in this room. Jennifer Locke, County Clerk, showed us what that process looks like.
The poll worker with the voter verify, hey, this is the right ballot, 313 in. So we're having the poll worker and hopefully the voter be looking at that too.
Locke hopes to have 550 poll workers by Election Day. Their training is focused on learning new regulations and being prepared for high voter turnout.
Just be patient with our poll workers on Election Day. Again, they work about a 15-hour day. They're volunteering their time to do this. And if more voters are prepared for Election Day, whether it's registration or knowing what's on the ballot, I think things will run more smoothly.
Idaho has gone through some changes since the last election cycle. These include new regulations on internet use for poll working equipment, voter verification, and a new pledge from all county clerks ensuring elections will be secure and accurate.
And so I just encourage people to see what we do in Idaho and understand what we do in Idaho, because I know it's easy to compare maybe what we do in other states, but we do have a great system here in Idaho.
Locke emphasized in our conversation how critical it is to familiarize yourself with your ballot ahead of Election Day. An easy way to do this is through a new website feature from the Secretary of State just launched, which you can see right here. If you put in your information, you can check if your voter registration is up to date, the status of your absentee, and your poll location. We will have that site linked on our website at kxly.com. Live in studio, Alexander Conyarts, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Alexandra. And remember, the last day for open voter registration is October 11th. Early voting, starts on October 15th and runs through November 1st. The deadline to request an absentee ballot is October 25th, and the deadline to return an absentee ballot is November 5th, which is also Election Day.
And if you take your phone out and scan this QR code, it will take you to our website where you can sign up for our For the People newsletter. We will send you stories we are working on right to your inbox, and you can read them when it is convenient for you.
Beautiful evening across the inland Northwest. Our sun already starting to set. Sunset tonight at 6:26. This is a live look over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena and the courthouse as that sun is setting before a cold night. I'll let you know if you're going to have to be on frost watch for the next few nights coming up in your 7-day forecast.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Tire Store.
Every fire season is more intense than the last, but Initiative 2117 will cut programs to prevent wildfires at a time we can't afford to. 2117 goes against everything we do. Vote no on 2117. It's a bad deal for Washington.
Discover fall in Coeur d'Alene. Experience the hidden treasure of autumn in our serene lakeside town. As the lively energy of summer subsides, the town embraces the tranquility of fall. Guests can unwind and find solace by the glistening lake. See for yourself why fall is Coeur d'Alene's best-kept secret. Book your fall foliage lake cruise overnight package now and make memories that will warm your heart for years to come.
I'm Jim Wilson. Look around Spokane today. These are our neighbors, someone's son, daughter, loved one. They deserve better. And you know what? We all do. I'm not a politician. These aren't partisan issues. I want to make this better for all of us, not with empty promises, but with real, testable solutions. Join me in the conversation to solve these problems at jimwilsonforwa.com. And remember me when you fill out your ballot. I'm Jim Wilson, and I ask for your vote.
The race is on to save thousands during the 72-hour kickoff sale at Cal, where they are marking down rigs to sell fast, plus delaying all payments until next year with a complimentary 2-year service maintenance plan included today through this Sunday at Cal.
This holiday season, believe in the magic of the North Pole. As you set sail for a holiday adventure like no other, marvel over the stunning light display along the magical journey to meet Santa. Experience the magic that only happens on Lake Coeur d'Alene. Even the Grinch can't resist the holiday cheer. Book during Santa's sneak peek week and enjoy 25% off tickets from November 15th to November 27th and discover the magic of the holiday season.
Across our state, we have roads and bridges in desperate need of repair. But Initiative 2117 would make things even worse, slashing funding for infrastructure, putting all of us at risk. 2117 is a bad deal for Washington.
Well, thanks for sticking with us. It is chilly, but not as cold as we've been feeling at night right now.
Yeah, no doubt. In fact, we're going to send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker now. And Chris, decent now. We're worried about a few hours from now.
That is correct. Temperatures are going to drop very, very quickly. Right now, it's 61, mostly clear skies in Spokane. See a few high clouds, just adding some dimension to our sunset. Clear in Coeur d'Alene right now, already in the 50s, and with clear skies, the winds are dying down. These temperatures are going to drop very fast. Oh, and the air is extremely dry as well. Those three things combined for prime radiational cooling. 4 things to know about your weather. A frost tonight across the region. Gardeners, This is your time to go cover up those plants if you want to make them last through the little bit of the growing season that is left. Mostly sunny on Thursday. We have the possibility of showers on Friday. I'll show you in just a moment. It looks like our odds are increasing a little bit and then heading into a gorgeous weekend with blue skies, sunshine, and some fall-like temperatures. Our low temperature trend, really it's the next couple of nights in most locations that are of concern if you, again, are still trying to make it through the growing season. And then our temperatures modify and are even going to get up above average as we get into the middle of next week. These are overnight lows, of course. The white line is average, below average temperatures for the next several nights. Tracking our weather pattern, high pressure in control for Thursday, keeping the skies clear for most of the day. And then a cold front comes through that'll bring an increase in clouds late in Thursday and the chance of showers as we get into Friday. It's also going to pick up our winds a little bit and cool things down just a hair for the start of the weekend. Now, I was skeptical about any chance of precipitation because it's been so dry. I wasn't sure any of that would be able to reach the ground. Oh, and by the way, our dry weather does return for the weekend. But here's my latest thinking. Here's the Friday forecast radar. There may be enough moisture with this system to bring some light rain Friday afternoon that will continue through the early part of the evening before we begin clearing out. Here's 7 o'clock Friday. Still some showers down on the Palouse and in the central panhandle. And then we clear out a little more meaningfully as we get into Friday night and head into the weekend. Meanwhile, Thursday, high temperatures will rebound nicely after our cold morning. We'll be up in the 60s to near 70 degrees, 73 in Lewiston, the only 70s on the map. No 70s around the Spokane area. We'll be in the mid 60s just about everywhere, mid to upper 60s. Your planning forecast, Friday, we have that chance of showers, breezy conditions, not windy, but breezy. Any rain to go along with that wind would be welcome. That would help with any of the dust, and of course we are in such a rainfall deficit. Any precipitation would be fabulous, but as long as it is not on the weekend, because boy, that has Green Bluff written all over it. 64 Saturday, 71 Sunday, so many fall activities going on, and that is great weather in which to enjoy it. I'll be back in just a few minutes with some Wildlife Wednesday photos.
All right, Chris, thank you. And as she was just saying, temperatures are getting cooler, but that doesn't mean allergy season is over. Some scientists say lingering warmer temperatures are causing the allergy season to start earlier and then last longer. That, in turn, delays the first frost, giving plants that release allergens more time to grow. Other experts say higher levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere further drive plant growth, generating even more pollen.
Well, still ahead, another downtown Spokane business fed up with crime. The despicable act that could be the last straw for the Alpine Deli.
Spokane County is worried about whether or not it'll be able to get the support from taxpayers to be able to fully fund its juvenile detention facility.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
We're not brother and sister.
We're not husband and wife.
She's not my daughter.
He's not just arm candy.
Hey.
What we are, we're advocates.
And so if you've been injured, we fight for you.
You deserve more than just a law firm.
You deserve an advocate.
From the ages of 13 to 15, I experienced childhood sexual abuse, and the abuse ended when I became pregnant. I made the choice to end my pregnancy. In Congress, Dave Reichert voted to ban abortion nationwide. He voted against exceptions. Reichert said as governor, he would work to unravel protection for abortion access here, and I think that is cruel. If Reichert becomes governor, I believe women are in danger. He's wrong for Washington.
Visit Fred's Appliance today and explore unbeatable deals on the largest selection of in-stock, get-it-today inventory in the region. Discover the quietest KitchenAid dishwasher, offering powerful cleaning without the noise. Run a cycle anytime. Enjoy a third-level rack for silverware and utensils, an adjustable middle rack for tall items, and the print shield finish that resists smudges and fingerprints. All for just $849. Save $300 today. At Fred's, we sell appliances. Only appliances.
It's time for 4 News Now. Code for kids. Drop off new or gently used coats at any of our sponsored locations. We'll bring them to Alsco for professional cleaning, then get them out to local children in need. Donate coats for kids through October 31st.
Share the warmth and do good this winter. Buy a gently used coat for a child at Goodwill and donate in store. Or bring in a new or gently used coat. Every donated coat helps a child stay warm this winter. Together, let's change lives and keep lots of kids warm this winter.
Clogged drains are a huge problem and can cost thousands. With Mainstream, you can prevent clogs before they happen. There's no better time than now to call Mainstream and ask about our 83 or it's free drain clearing special. For just $83, we'll send a technician to your home to clear your drain. And if for some reason we can't get it, it's free. With over 20 years of experience, the expert technicians at Mainstream can restore the flow. Call Mainstream today or visit us at mainstreamhomeservices.com to take advantage of this limited time deal.
Donnie, the advocates excel in car, truck, and motorcycle cases, resulting in millions of dollars for our clients.
That makes me sad.
Sad? Why sad?
Just thinking about the ones that don't bring their cases to us.
Oh, that is sad.
4 News Now is brought to you by Aligned Family Chiropractic.
Around the nation, automation and wages are at the heart of a strike by tens of thousands of members of the International Longshoremen's Association against ports on the nation's east and Gulf Coast.
While the strike is taking place hundreds of or thousands of miles away, its impact could soon be felt here in the inland Northwest. CNN's Karen Kaifa explains.
Inflation-weary consumers are already starting to eye which products could become a little bit more scarce and a little bit more expensive if this strike lingers on. In terms of toys, apparel, and other holiday gifts, you're probably okay there. But if the strike goes on for a few weeks, your fruit basket may get a little thin.
There's a big gap between demands of the International Longshoremen's Association and the latest offer from the United States Maritime Alliance, or USMX, which represents the major shipping lines, all foreign-owned, and terminal operators and port authorities. At issue, wages and automation at the ports.
They want to come into America and build fully automated terminals and get rid of American jobs. Good paying jobs that support families with medical, pensions, annuities, and pay taxes.
Some of the 14 ports involved, the massive port of New York and New Jersey, as well as Boston, Baltimore, and Charleston, South Carolina.
I'm confident that everyone that is involved in that on either end are aware of it and did whatever they could, but we cannot settle the strike between the carriers and the union.
Also, Wilmington, Delaware, which declares itself America's largest banana port. That means bananas could come up short at the grocery store. And even though domestic farmers grow cherries, certain berries, and other fruits, they can't meet all of the nation's demand. Without imports to boost supply, prices could push higher. Raw ingredients like sugar and cocoa imports also at risk, as well as imported chocolate and alcohol. The good news for holiday shoppers, things like apparel, toys, and other gifts don't have a shelf life like food imports and can park in a warehouse for months. So when retailers saw a potential strike on the horizon, they rushed to get products delivered before the strike began.
Despite recent reports on social media, any shortage of toilet paper and other paper goods at stores has nothing to do with a port strike and everything to do with panic buying. Most paper goods that are used here in the U.S. are produced here in the U.S., therefore no need to import them. However, exports could soon become a problem for these companies, meaning there could actually be a glut. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
So don't go panic buying your toilet paper. All right, new numbers show egg prices spiked more this year than any other food tracked by the U.S. government.
The price of eggs are up a little over 28%. And frankly, you know, what we're seeing is just the beginning of what could bring it to record highs.
So the big question is, what's driving up prices? Experts say bird flu is to blame.
Egg production is down in July about 2.5%. So that has a ripple effect onto the shelves of our supermarkets.
The CDC says bird flu has impacted more than 100 million birds since January of 2022. For now, experts say the best way to save money is to shop around and look for the best prices. Well, with Washington State on its bye week, the Cougs get some extra practice time this week, but that doesn't mean they're taking it easy.
Now, the Cougs have a lot of work to do coming off their first loss of the season. What coach Jake Dickert says needs to be fixed before their next game.
An Alpine Deli in downtown Spokane falls victim to a suspected arson. Here after the break, why the owner says she may not renew her lease.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything.
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower remodel.
DECU isn't like other financial institutions, and the difference is people. Because we're not for profit, there's no boardroom of billionaires maximizing their margins. Our biggest stakeholders are people like you. It's our members who make money meaningful, so we focus on helping them thrive. It's the art student bringing beauty to his community that makes a college loan matter. It's the mother building her family's foundation that makes a mortgage matter. It's people that make DECU matter. People like you.
Respect, protect, pay essential grocery store workers.
We all recognize today's workplace safety challenges.
My union negotiated strong safety language, addressing the important issues we face in our stores.
UFCW 3000 fights to make sure that essential workers get better wages, respect on the job, and a safe workplace.
That's the peace of mind my family and I need. If you'd like a strong union in your workplace, contact us here.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. Could they all just fade away? But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
I think this is my favorite. Okay, hon, what do you think of this one?
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower remodel.
This entire election season can feel overwhelming.
Trust 4 News Now to cut through the chaos and give you back control. I'm Derek Dice.
And I'm Kirsten O'Connor. 4 News Now, For the People coverage is focused on the local races and issues that impact you.
We'll get answers to your questions, fact-check politicians, and empower you with resources to make your vote count.
That's what we mean when we say expect more.
For the People coverage, now until Election Day on 4 News Now and KXLY.com.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Well, the owner of Alpine Deli in downtown Spokane says an arsonist damaged her building Sunday night.
And it was captured on camera, showing somebody starting several fires in the hours before midnight. Our Hunter Bertram joins us in studio now with what we know now, Hunter.
Yeah, Kirsten and Derek, what we know now is that the owners of Alpine Deli are considering leaving its location, which has been there since 1988. And I spoke with the business that captured the arsonist on surveillance footage, but they declined to share it for fear of retaliation. Out back of the Alpine Deli, surveillance footage shows a person sparking several fires here, scorching wood pallets, bricks, and melting plastic. Flames, however, didn't breach the building.
You know, this part of town, it's gotten so much worse over the last few years, and I wish there was a resolution for it, you know.
Since moving to the United States in the 90s, Andrea Lagoon Weiler has wanted to share her culture and feel not so far from home.
We have the most amazing customers in the world, and it's part of who I am too. I mean, I was born and raised in Germany, and not having these German items around is just losing, you know, my home.
Which is why the idea of leaving this location of 40 years of memories pains her.
It's getting to me, you know, it's absolutely getting to me, because I never know if what I love is still here when I get here.
So on Monday, seeing their back door boarded up and their building painted in black soot, she doesn't know what the future holds for this deli.
I love Spokane, and I love this building, and I love this deli, and I would like to see this area just be nice again.
And for reference, Alpine Deli is only blocks away from the Division Street corridor, which struggles with crime and drug issues. I reached out to SPD on where this case of possible arson. Police have yet, as of news time, to provide me with any further details. In studio, I'm Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
All right, Hunter, thank you. Here is a live look at One Spokane Stadium, where the Cheney and LC girls soccer teams are going head-to-head. And I hope everyone brought a jacket because temperatures are going to be dropping later tonight. Let's send it over to Chris Crocker to see how cold it's going to get.
Oh, yes, those temperatures are dropping quickly with mostly clear skies. Here's the view looking to the west, a little different perspective. Sun has already set, and we are headed down to overnight lows in the Spokane area below freezing in many locations. 9 Mile, Meade, some of these readings, the coldest readings of the season so far. 28 in Deer Park and right at freezing in Spirit Lake. If you are a gardener, really anything 36 degrees and lower is going to take a toll on your plants, but there's some hard freeze temperatures out there as well, including Colville getting down to 26 tomorrow morning, 34 in Pullman, 44 in Lewiston. There is a frost advisory through Thursday morning because the growing season is still underway for many gardeners. So again, if you want to keep those plants going, might want to take your precautions now. Hour by hour tomorrow, it is going to be a beautiful day. Winds generally light. Had a little bit of a breeze today. Those winds have died down. We'll be up to 60 by 1 o'clock. Our high of 66 exactly average. Few clouds starting to filter our late day sun as we get into the afternoon, and a cold front on the way for Friday. I'll let you know what that means for your Friday forecast and have Wildlife Wednesday photos in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris, thanks so much. The best air quality in 8 years. That's what the Spokane Regional Clean Air Agency is saying about this past summer. Somehow, Spokane managed to avoid the worst of an active fire season around the Pacific Northwest. Meteorologist Matt Gray is here to break down why and explain our odds of doing it again next year.
And Derek, the bottom line here is that Spokane got pretty darn lucky. Where and when the big fires in our area happened this year, when those fires were happening in other places, timely rain in August and early September, boy, that all helped us out a lot. Air quality will fail national standards if the air quality index averages 100 or higher for a full 24 hours. Now, back on August 3rd, we got close. We had an average AQI of 82, according to Spokane Clean Air. But take a look at the last 8 years of data here, and you can see why we are making such a big deal out of this. Even in 2022 and 2019, which by modern standards we consider quieter wildfire seasons around here, there were still days, multiple days, with failed air quality of that standard that I just mentioned. Wildfires, they just happened to be at the wrong place and at the wrong time, and that smoke ended up blowing into town and stuck around the city for a while. Weather conditions that promote extreme wildfire behavior, well, they're still increasing in the inland Northwest despite what's happened this year. While average rainfall during our smokiest months of August and September, you're about to see that on your screen, they're continuing to go down year over year, decade over decade. In the end, it all comes down to random chance. But the underlying factors like these, they're all pointing towards us probably not avoiding the smoke again next year.
All right, Matt, thank you. Well, Spokane County voters will vote on renewing a sales tax that fully funds the county's Juvenile Detention Center.
The county says it would have to come up with nearly $16 million in funding if Measure 1 doesn't pass in November. Derek Strom spoke with county leaders who say they're concerned about the measure not passing.
Spokane County says it is concerned for the dwindling support of a number of publicly funded services, and that's why it's making such a big push to continue to fully fund its juvenile detention center. Funding for the Juvenile Detention Center has come from a 0.1% sales tax and has been renewed by voters 4 times since 1995. It was most recently renewed in 2015 with nearly 70% of voters supporting it. But Spokane County leaders are still worried about Measure 1 failing this November.
We need to be taking care of our juveniles so that way they don't end up in this facility. So that way
they can be a productive member of our society, so they don't end up in our with the sheriff's office or our adult detention facility.
The sales tax currently generates just under $16 million per year. Around $7 million of that is used to fully fund the juvenile detention facility, and the rest goes towards funding the county's adult jail. That funding creates about 140 jobs, according to the county.
The work that we do here is entirely dependent on the renewal of this sales tax. Again, as Commissioner Cuney said, it's a renewal. It's not going to pay for any new facilities. It's not going to pay for any new programming.
But if voters don't approve the sales tax, the county would still have to find other ways to fund the juvenile detention facility. There are a few positions there that aren't mandatory, like medical and mental health specialists, but cutting those positions could cost taxpayers more in the long run.
To send kids out to the hospital, if we don't have that mental health or that medical team here, sending them out to the hospital is going to cost extensive cost to the county to do that.
In Spokane, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
Well, Whitman County Public Health is tracking more cases of whooping cough. 5 people have now tested positive for B. pertussis at Washington State University. Whooping cough is a highly contagious respiratory illness that doctors say can be spread before you even know you have it. It can be treated with antibiotics, and booster shots are available every 10 years. If you've been around someone who tests positive for whooping cough, you can also get preventative antibiotics. Whitman County Public Health says the outbreak is contained to the WSU student population, but residents in the county should check the last time they had a Tdap vaccine.
Well, this month, school cafeterias across Washington are making an effort to put locally grown ingredients on your kids' lunch trays.
Yeah, Governor Inslee has declared today as Taste Washington Day, which is a day to celebrate the connections between farms and schools. The Cheney School District makes this a top priority. Their cafeteria serves everything from fresh salmon caught in Washington to apples picked on nearby farms. This is all paid for by state grants and made free for students through a new program. Well, the chef there says giving kids quality foods helps them excel everywhere at school, whether it's in the classroom or on the field. More than 400 new home sites could soon break ground in the Latah Valley west of Eagle Ridge. A hearing examiner has received the green light to start a new development called the Marshall Creek Estates. It was first proposed in 2019. People living in Latah Valley have voiced concerns over more infrastructure and development in the area. They are worried about safe access to Highway 195, evacuation routes during wildfires, and more. The developer is on the hook to pay for improvements in the area, including for Highway 195 and Hatch Road. It's also responsible for sewer and water infrastructure. No word yet on when construction will start.
3 people in Idaho are facing nearly a dozen counts related to illegal big game hunting. According to court documents, the suspects are all licensed outfitters, and they began booking clients for mountain lion hunting. They guided groups in southeast Idaho and Wyoming, where it's illegal to hunt regardless of being licensed. The indictment claims 11 mountain lions were killed in Idaho and another one was killed in Wyoming. The trio pleaded not guilty to all charges and now face up to 5 years in prison per count.
Well, the Cougars suffered their first loss of the season last Saturday against Boise State.
And after a long weekend, the team is back at practice today, ready to make some adjustments, Sydney.
The good news is the Cougs have a little bit of extra time on their hands to address some things. We heard from Coach Jake Diggert today about how the team plans to handle the bye week. That's coming up next in sports.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by UFCW Local 3000.
The race is on to save thousands during the 72-hour kickoff sale at Cal, where they are marking down rigs to sell fast, plus delaying all payments until next year with a complimentary 2-year service maintenance plan included today through this Sunday at Cal.
My credit score is more than just a number. It's my future. P1FCU knows how important it is too, which is why it's so easy to check your score every time you check your online banking. It's a piece of cake. Plus, it doesn't just let you check your score, it gives you recommendations on how to improve it. It also shows you how different things could be affecting your score.
Open your P1FCU checking account at p1fcu.org and start earning today.
Are you struggling to get through the day?
Are you experiencing chronic pain, burning, numbness, and tingling in your hands or feet? Pay attention, because you are probably experiencing peripheral neuropathy. The most common symptoms are numbness, burning, muscle cramps, and problems with balance. Neuropathy is treatable, and our office can help. It's time to get real results. Pick up your phone and call us right now. If you're one of the first 25 callers, you'll receive a free nerve damage screening. This nerve damage screening will tell you if you're at risk for serious nerve damage and if you're qualified for our cutting-edge treatment program to stop the nerve damage. Don't wait until it's too late and your symptoms get so bad that you lose your freedom and are restricted to a wheelchair, walker, or need amputation. Call now to be one of the first 25 callers to receive a free nerve damage screening. Hurry, call now to find out if you qualify for our free nerve damage screening and see how we can change your life. It's time to feel better. Call today.
So, boss man, what are we doing today?
Oh, just annual maintenance.
Annual maintenance?
Yeah, the yearly tune-up to keep the heating and cooling stuff running. Wait, you do get tune-ups on your HVAC equipment, right?
Totally unrelated, but can you come by my house after this and maybe check out my system?
Man, I can take real good care of you. See? Works perfectly for you, right?
At Craig Swap & Associates, we don't get paid until you win.
One call, that's all. 509-999-9999.
The Cougars took a long weekend after a tough loss on the road against Boise State, but they're back in Pullman and back in practice, prepping for Fresno State in 2 weeks, but also taking the time to address and fix the errors from Saturday's loss. A bye week this week couldn't have come at a better time. Now that the Cougs have gotten the chance to stomach their first loss of the season, some are taking it well, while Jake Dickert says others need to figure out how to learn from their mistakes.
Great teams have hard conversations, not just coach to player, but player to player. There was some lack efforts out there that's just not acceptable. You want to go out there and win a big ball game. We pointed those out. We also showed some great efforts, right? In times of us doing really good things. It wasn't all bad. You can't take it like that either, but there were some hard things, and guys need to own up to it. Some really did, and some need to work on a maturity aspect of what that takes.
Thankfully, the Cougs have a good chunk of time to iron things out and get healthy. Dickert also mentioned a couple guys are banged up, and that includes running back Dylan Payne with an ACL injury. Dickert says he's out for the rest of the season. The news about Gonzaga joining the Pac-12 conference is still fresh, but the idea of finding new ways to grow the basketball programs and provide more opportunities for student athletes has been a topic of conversation for years. Joining a conference that's on track to be one of the most competitive basketball conferences in the country was a step that was taken without question. Coach Mark Few and Coach Lisa Fortier have been on board every step of this process.
Obviously, they're huge stakeholders in this, right? So we're been in dialogue really for 3 years, talking about what is it that is going to give them the tools that they need to continue to grow the programs. Both of them have individual characteristics, and they both grow in this opportunity.
The first look at the men's team this season will be this Saturday at Craziness in the Kennel, and FanFest for the women's team is next Saturday, October 12th. As for the first time to see the Zags in action, the remainder of the men's non-conference schedule has been filled. The Zags will play teams from 9 different conferences this season, and their schedule is filled with some big names. Gonzaga opens the regular season in the Spokane Arena against Baylor. The Bears rank within the top 10 in those early polls, and they also go on the road against San Diego State. The Aztecs are a team that has advanced to the Sweet 16 last season and a future conference opponent. The Bulldogs will return to Climate Pledge Arena for a matchup against Kentucky and Seattle, then facing UConn in New York, and they end their non-conference schedule against UCLA in the West Coast Hoops Showdown. That's in the brand new Intuit Dome in Inglewood on December 28th. Those are some great games you'll want to mark on your calendar. And if you turn your calendar a couple years ahead, you can also mark this one too. Spokane Arena will be an NCAA tournament site for the men's first and second rounds in 2027. If you remember, the first and second rounds were hosted in the arena this past season, now guaranteed to make a return to Hooptown, USA. In studio, Sydney Berger, 4 News Now Sports.
Should be a lot of fun, Sydney. Thank you. And as we head to a break, let's take a look at your primetime lineup for tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
What's better than the perfect cut of meat for a tasty meal? That's easy. The perfect cut of meat on sale.
Super One Foods 12-hour meat sale this Thursday only with great savings on Prairie Fresh boneless pork loin roast, $1.98 a pound. USDA Choice boneless beef sirloin tip roast, $3.98 a pound. Prairie Fresh pork loin fillet, $4.98 each.
Super One Foods 12-hour meat sale this Thursday only. The savings are sizzling.
Do you like this one? I think this is my favorite. Okay, hon, what do you think of this one?
When it's time for an update or complete remodel, Rebath is with you every step of the way.
Wow, is this going to be ready in time for the baby?
Absolutely. From design and products to removal and installation, we handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs. Rebath, with you every step of the way. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower remodel.
Discover fall in Coeur d'Alene. Experience the hidden treasure of autumn in our serene lakeside town. As the lively energy of summer subsides, the town embraces the tranquility of fall. Guests can unwind and find solace by the glistening lake. See for yourself why fall is Coeur d'Alene's best-kept secret. Book your fall foliage lake cruise overnight package now and make memories that will warm your heart for years to come.
Nestled in the heart of the Inland Northwest is a community of dedicated workers. They rise with the sun, their hands shaping the land we call home. They nourish our communities with their unwavering commitment. At Adams Tractor, we believe their hard work deserves to be celebrated. In this year's Tribute for Our Farmers, Adams Tractor extends a heartfelt thank you to those who ensure our tables are full. Through every season and every condition, your dedication never falters. From our family to yours, thank you. A tribute for our Inland Northwest farmers, brought to you by Adams Tractor.
The race is on to save thousands during the 72-hour kickoff sale at Cal, where they are marking down rigs to sell fast, plus delaying all payments until next year with a complimentary 2-year service maintenance plan included today through this Sunday at Cal.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
Sign up for the 4 News Now playbook at KXLY.com.
All right, welcome back. It is Wednesday. That means we got to talk about a little wildlife.
That's right. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker has, is that a moose?
Yes, my favorite animal and one of my favorite photographers, Courtney Litwin, sent me this baby moose. She knows it was my birthday. I think that had something to do with it, but this is a gorgeous little baby moose that she spotted in North Idaho. Mama was right there. In fact, she sent me some photos of Mom as well, but how could you resist that face? So healthy looking out there enjoying some vegetation. Kathy Bolam sent this beautiful picture, spotted this wood duck drake and his mate along the trail of the Coeur d'Alenes. What spectacular colors on the drake. And Mrs. Duck has her charms as well. And from Mark Vogt, amazing capture of bighorn sheep ewe looking, well, it's hard to tell with their eyes where she's looking. I think she's looking at Mark. Who knows? But beautiful. Starting to see some fall foliage, definitely, in my Wildlife Wednesday photos. And she looks like she is not going to have any problem whatsoever with a cold night tonight. A frost advisory in effect for the area shaded in blue on your screen. Now, if you are in North Idaho, you may also get a frost, but the growing season is still well underway, especially in the Columbia Basin, the LC Valley. And there are many spots in this blue shaded area where we still have some vegetables going. Our high temperature trend, this white line is our average high. We're going to be right around average for the next 3 days, and then a bit of a jump as we get into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Back up in the 70s. Our average high drops very quickly in the month of October. In fact, the most radical change in our average high than any month of the the year, so we definitely slide into fall during October. However, the 8 to 14-day forecast shows a growing signal of much warmer than average temperatures. That's the October 10th through the 16th. And below average precipitation, not as strong of a signal, but it is there. We do have a 30% chance of showers on Friday, along with breezy conditions with a passing cold front. And it doesn't look like the precipitation totals are going to be all that impressive. This is the latest thinking, in the hundredths of an inch. That could change, though, depending on a few things. It's going to have to overcome some very dry air, this cold front, to put down any precipitation. Although the timing is not great on a Friday, on a homecoming day for many high schools. I'm rooting for it regardless. And then we dry out for a beautiful weekend. Lots of pretty fall sunshine and some warmer overnights as well. Looks like gardeners should be on high alert tomorrow night as well, with that overnight low of 37.